Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the Honey Factory, the Honey Talks, and it's another week, a great week. Um, we always start with gratitude for where we are, who we are, mind, body, and spirit of health and love and happiness and joy and being chosen by God, chosen to do some awesome things in this world. And if you're listening, you are that person. So, blessings. So, gratitude, take a moment. Gratitude for the air we breathe, the life we live, and for so much more that can come into our lives that can bless us and how we bless others. So, grateful. So, we've been all talking about life, right? All wrapped up in one. Your life, my life, how we can just keep pushing forward, do some awesome things. Awesome things as into whatever added to our lives, whatever it may be. Coming out of where we are born into certain places, lives. Some things feel predetermined, some things are not, some things seem out of reach depending on where you think you are or where you think you should be. And that's always the thing, that expectation of where you think you should be, and there's also what God thinks where God thinks you should be, right? So we live our lives, maybe sometimes can be considered in a bubble based on, well, I grew up here, this is what I saw before me, and this is all that I know I can do. But when we stretch a little bit further and we go and we tend to learn more about the world and what we're capable of, or what's out there. When we go on our jobs, depending on the job that it is, the people that we meet, we get to learn about different cultures. That's why it's important, because then you get to see, oh, I didn't know that that's possible. Different jobs that we have, different churches that we may go to, different arenas, activities that we might do. And when we do those things, we get to, learn something new and then use it to stretch ourselves. That's what it's all about. We want to stretch ourselves beyond what the norm is. And when we do that, we get to see more of what is possible. It brings a level of hope into you. So when you go out, it seems insignificant, but even when you travel to another town, or you travel to another state or another city or whatever it may be, the things that you learn within that city, you get to stretch yourself, because you enter something new into your mind that gives you a level of understanding or questioning that goes, I wonder if that was possible for me. You know what? I like that. I didn't know that was possible for me to do. And sometimes some people take it to another level in that curiosity, and they find out new things that they can do, and they embark on those new things. So, in all that, in growing and accepting that you're needed. Just simple. You're needed. We're all needed. We're all needed to take up our responsibility, so that we can make all of this what we pray for to be better. Is not on God to make that better. That's why He created us, so we can be those vessels, so that He can work through. So guess what? That means you need your legs. We need your hands. We need your voice. We need your doing in order to see some changes within this world. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there for 1 second. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and read this. So, take that pause. Think about that. Just when you think, oh, what I do is not that important, it is. Because you're important. So it is. So, right? Questions of you. I'm just going to read today. We all have vulnerabilities that scare us and cause us to want to go into a shell. For instance, in being transparent, writing makes me vulnerable. Vulnerable is criticism, judgment, opinions, thoughts, all that is not my own. Anyone can weigh in on your work, your art. Writing is like glass to me. It's the window to my soul. It's where everything that is me gets laid out. It does not have a filter, unlike everything else. When I put my pen to paper without hesitation, I just flow. Flowing can be upstream or downstream. That's maybe why I choose not to write every day. I don't think everything should be said or shared. I love mystery, which writing has its own. It's the mystery about the person who is writing, or is it? Could it be that writing sells a mystery and shows who I really am, are, what I am afraid of? What should I fear? Is it wrong for people to know you? I don't know. All I know is I don't want the judgment, glare, sympathies, congratulations, opinions. I don't even know if I want the attention. I just want an outlet of freedom of no holds barred to be. It's just so hard to just be without being concerned. We as a society have come so far, but yet so behind. We wear our feelings on our sleeves. At least I know I can. It's tough, but does it have to be? Acceptance is key. We have to accept our differences, strengths, and weaknesses. This is what makes us an individual. Our individuality makes this world so beautiful, especially when we're striving for our own personal best. For our best is continuous work on our part. It encompasses our character. It is all of who we are and do. What does that mean? How do you comprehend and quantify? My concern in my quest for deeper meaning and soul-searching purpose is that it's real simple and not as deep as I want it to be. We say we have to come into our own what? What is it to just love? What is it to just love? And love. Love means many things to different people, yet it still comes down to one. Love without the extra baggage and crap. Love without thought of opinion, judgment, or hypocrisy. Love in movement and saying. Love in action. But how? Is it with a who? I just don't know, because sometimes it can be hard to love another, especially when you define love in your own way. When we constantly change the description and definition, we tend to change the outcome. Is that why it's so askew? Or is love another vulnerability? Is it something that puts you on display and reveals your inner you, your truth? Does it leave you in a place to be judged? Yes, at times, if you choose to look at it this way. Vulnerability should be embraced, especially if it allows you, the real you, to come forward, whether good or bad. It allows you to correct, grow, be better, share, care, and love. Vulnerability brings forth work, hard work, not to work hard to cover up, but excellence, not perfection, but excellence. Excellence says to do better than yesterday. Excellence allows healthy competition in you, which gives the world a better you. Because out of it all, we are not hired or created for ourselves, but the world around us. We are a sum of parts with Christ as our head. So, yes. If you want to go back and listen to that, reread it, or read it for yourself and really dive into it, is there at thehoneytalks.com. So let's just dive into it real quick and just kind of focus on what it was about. It was just about you coming into you. Accepting that you're not perfect, but you have a gift. You have something that you can do. Everybody doesn't. For so many years, I would say, I'm not a writer, I don't do that stuff, but I probably write more than the next person. And I've published some things out there, so that would make me consider a writer. Whether or not I want to accept it, I'm still who I am. I am who I am based on the actions that I do. So when we want to really look at who we are and really go into, well, this is who, who am I? It's in your actions, and what you do, how you show up. It's not in your title, because we can have a title and still not do that job. Plenty of that. But it's in what you do and who you are and who your character is and how you show up every day. And it's okay. If it's not perfect, but you did it. Because God is a God of action. And he says faith without works is dead. And so we push and strive daily to be who we are, but we have to do it with action. So we may not see, here's our faith, which rests in our hope that this, whatever it is that we want to do or we want to see, that it will show up, right? And most of it, most would say, okay, I'm just going to pray about it and God's just going to make it show up. That can sometimes happen. But then it kind of goes against, he says faith without works is dead. So that means there's a level of work on our part that has to happen. The actions that we have to take in order to get closer to whatever it is we see. Meaning we don't sit around. We're going to be active in our lives, active in growing our character. So it might be that you want to, I don't know, be let's just go big. You want to own like a basketball team, but you're working at let's say Target, Walmart right now, and you're like, well, how does that happen? And here you lay the prayer, like, God, this is what I see, this is what I want to do. And now he's such a gracious God. He'll send those things that will help to build you, to get you to that place. But it's up to us to actually take it and not go, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to take that journey. I don't want to. It's that trust in saying, okay, God led me here and I don't know why, but I'm going to go ahead and step out on it and do it. It's not going to necessarily be pretty, because a lot of times those things that he's sending you to, you've never done before, so it's going to stretch you. And when you're being stretched because of something new, that right there makes you go, so I don't want to play no more. I just want to quit, and maybe I don't want that dream anymore. But if you stay in it, you'll see whatever it is that you need to see. And we don't know. There's no guarantees in anything. But there's a guarantee in his word. He said before any drop or tittle of his word would fall, the earth would pass away. He's not a man that he should lie. So he says he'll never forsake you, nor never leave you nor forsake you. And that whatever good work he started in you, he'll bring it to completion. All those things, if you hold tight to, that means you're going to see, no matter what, something good on the other side. Sometimes we don't always see what we want to see, of that expectation, but trust there's something good, because trust me, in this moments when these things were written, it was a time of, what in the world is going on? I didn't choose this. I didn't want this. How? I didn't come here for this. It was a big move. It was a big jump. It was a jump of faith. Things got sold. Things got left behind, and it was going into a place of the unknown, and thinking everything was there to cushion the blow. And just when you got there, everything got yanked from underneath. Got yanked from underneath. That was my journey, and at times, it still is, but maybe not as extreme as that. But it was a hard time to kind of grasp as to what was going on. But here's why gratitude is important, because even as I move past those moments, because every day we get further away from the beginning, right? How we started, we get further away, and we want to get further away from our start, because our start is usually where it hurts the most. And the further we get away from our start, the more we see our growth, and we can give gratitude that I remember how it began, but this is where I'm at now, and I'm very appreciative of it, because I wouldn't have done this and I wouldn't have learned this if it wasn't for this. And that's when you go, dang, God is smart. I would never have done that to me. No, because we're not into the business of tightening our belt, so to speak. If we have to tighten something, notice that we can't do it. We have to get somebody else to do it, because we're not going to put that level of pain on us that someone else would, whether good or bad. Because like if you're tying a pair of shoes, or ladies, those corsets and stuff, tying it up, I can never get it as tight as me asking a friend to tighten it up. Now, how much more is God going to tighten something up, but for our good? So he goes, oh, dang, yes, he did a beautiful job, right? So there goes that gratitude, and there's that moment. So it's all about, it sucks to be vulnerable, but in that vulnerability, we learn more about ourselves. As we grow closer, the more we open ourselves up, the more we learn more about us and who we are. It's not really about who everybody else is. It's about who we are and who we want to see ourselves to be. And if we want to see certain things, we've got to start doing those things. It's not just going to appear. So we got to do the work. We We got to do the work. We got to put something on the line. Okay? We got to put something on the line. So these questions are of you and what you want to see in your life. And what are you going to put on the line for it? It's always a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Blessings always.